What's going on, fish? Welcome back to your favorite Coy Pond. As always, joined by my favorite co-host, Mr. Kevin. Here again for another wonderful week at the Coy Pond, episode 57.
Woo.
Another fucking number, you know what I mean? And today, we're talking about Hamas. No, I'm just kidding. I had to throw that back. It's been a while since we let it off that way. But hope everyone's had a great week. You can find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Look into SpeakPipe to send us a question. I'm a little brain dead today.
The Lord.
Yeah, well, we're going to get through this as best we can. Apologies if there's a lot of filler words that some of you may or may not notice on occasion. But nonetheless, another amazing week of NFL football.
It just keeps churning out good games, great games.
It really did. We led off the week with that Thursday night game, Packers at the Lions. It delivered. It delivered.
We thought that Green Bay had a shot there.
Yeah.
And Detroit, they got it done.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay Jordan Love basically only targeted Watson in that entire game.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy considering Reed was talking some shit before that game, and he didn't get a single reception.
Nothing.
So, apologies to fantasy owners on behalf of the Coy Pond if you started him. We had no input into that, but that would suck. Your first potential playoff weekend with the byes already happening. There's a chance a lot of people had to play him.
Yeah.
Well, you know, T's and P's. But regardless,
Detroit rolls on, right?
Detroit kept going, and they get healthier this upcoming week. More players will be back. We'll get into that. But Lions win by 3. I mean, pretty amazing. They're going to keep rolling. I thought, honestly, if there was a week they would see a loss, it would have been that week.
Yep.
And the game was very competitive, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But Dan Campbell is a damn demon.
They have such swagger and confidence that they just roll right with it. And
they really do.
Jared Goff is in a zone, all his own right now.
And when you have the just dynamic duo of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, I mean, how can you not have an ungodly amount of confidence that if you can't throw the ball, one of the two of them can run it? And then not to mention if you run it off to Amon-Ra, St. Brown, or Williams.
Right.
And Williams had the game that I was thinking he'd have.
And we'll get to it, but what a matchup we have coming up this week.
Yeah.
Detroit and Buffalo.
Yes.
So could be a Super Bowl preview.
It really could be, and I'm all for it. Sadly, it'll be in Detroit. I think in Buffalo, I'd like to see the difference.
What Detroit looks like outside.
There's a couple things I still want to see. I'm not saying Detroit's bad by any means.
Right.
There's just a couple things I'd like to see still. But hey, schedules, baby.
Yep.
Nothing you can do about it. Moving on, some of the other games happened on Sunday in the 1 o'clock slate. Ones that we can safely say we can write them off. You know, hey, thanks for playing. Saints, Giants. No one cares about Saints get the win. Steelers got revenge on the Browns.
It was a matter of time.
In Pittsburgh.
You know it's going to happen.
Everyone thought the same thing. Kirk Cousins is dead. Lost 42-21 in the meatless palace we call Minnesota.
To his old team.
You
know? And horrible.
I mean, the Chargers might have started his downfall. He had, I think, another couple interceptions. Don't quote me on it. It wasn't a beautiful game for him, from all things I've heard.
But not looking good, and Atlanta may not even win the division.
I don't think they will. I put a bet out before the season started saying they would not make the playoffs, and the writing is on the wall at the moment unless they figure something out. Michael Penix, inbound, maybe. We'll get back
for sure.
To that. Buccaneers beat the Raiders. To be expected.
Pretty much what we thought, right?
Yep, 28-13, nothing
Handily.
crazy. Yeah, exactly. Raiders lose another quarterback.
Oh my gosh,
that's a whole different problem. Raiders, good luck. I don't even see them as a rival in the division anymore. I see it as like the equivalent of how they felt about the Chargers last year, probably.
Yeah,
it's like Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, little buddy.
Bucky Irving out, so
yeah, that's true.
White gets to play, and if you had him in for your fantasy, did good. If you had Bucky, you got the shaft.
You really did. Eagles almost blow it to Carolina. If Xavier Legette catches that in for a touchdown, ta-ta, birdies. Cry, Eagles, cry. It is getting loud in Philly.
Yes, and once again, trouble with the passing game for the Eagles.
Yep.
They rely on Saquon Barkley, who delivers again with 124. Continues to be on track to set the single-season rushing record.
Yeah.
And he's got some incredibly easy matchups, except for one on the back end here. So I would not be shocked at all to see him blow that record out.
Yeah, and maybe that's something we talk about later as MVPs, but he's having a hell of a year.
He is.
Kellen Moore knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And somehow Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown having a little bit of a back and forth. Who knows what's really going on in the locker room. But I think something Graham, that used to play for the Eagles came on a podcast and was talking about how there's
Brandon Graham?
I think so. Brandon Graham was talking about how there's a connection that's not quite there. Maybe Nick Sirianni came out and said the connection's never been stronger. You know, you're getting conflicting reports. It's kind of crazy to hear though, because if you're an AJ Brown fantasy owner like myself, he's getting the yards. He's just not getting the touchdowns.
Right.
So
and you gotta love. There's just something about Jalen Hurts. I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Right.
It's the Eagles. I shouldn't like them, but I like the way that his demeanor just never changes.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter if they score, they lose, they win. He's the same every time.
He really is. Talking about Sirianni, right?
Talking about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he really is. And there's never really much emotion on his face, to be completely honest with you. And I'm surprised Saquon hasn't come out at this point with the rest of the team and said, I'm sick and tired of him taking my touchdowns at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
But it's a hilarious stat, I like to think.
And once again, a team like Detroit, Philly, they find a way to win the game when the game is on the line. And that's the key.
It's not a bad thing. Even though it was the Panthers have looked pretty good in the last 3 weeks.
And again, we talked about that in the preseason. We said Panthers going to be better. Started out awful. Bryce Young gets benched. Andy Dalton comes in, doesn't continue to play well. Bryce Young's back, and looks pretty damn good.
I wonder who Bryce Young talked to during that break.
Wonder what happened.
It'd be great to hear a story down the road if he ends up being good next year.
Yeah.
What was the turning point? When did he have to turn it on? But don't win it. But good try. Jaguars against the Titans. Who cares? 10-6. Congratulations, Mac Jones, on the win. Jets lose to the Dolphins in overtime.
Shocker.
Bit of a shocker. Jets looked good early, I think, again, and the Dolphins came back.
The Jets winning these games early and just can't hold on to it. And they just, I don't know.
I wish I could say I watched it. I didn't. It's just crazy that they once again lost, and this time it just wasn't overtime. Cardinals at home lose to the Seahawks. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the NFC West. I'm not going to pretend to know. The Cardinals, I thought, were playing to whoever they played against, like skill-wise. Seahawks routed them. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. It's hard to figure out. And the Seahawks historically are as mystifying as the Cardinals are.
Yeah.
But right now, Seattle seems to be holding on to that lead in the West.
They are. And, Lord, here comes the Rams beating the Bills 44-42.
Shocker. What a game.
I cannot believe I missed this.
38-21 at one point in the game.
Bills?
No, the Rams.
Oh, wow.
And I forget if it was Brady. I think Brady was doing the commentary.
I think you're right.
He goes, a lot of game left. Down by 17, and all of a sudden, it was almost instantaneous. Wow. Here came Josh Allen.
That's insane.
And, at a point there, it looked like they weren't going to be able to hold him off. And Sean McVay made the gutsy decision to go for it on 4th down and got the first down, and that was the ball game. And, more of these coaches need to be making that decision.
Right.
Because you give the ball back to someone like a Pat Mahomes or a Josh Allen, even Jalen Hurts, these guys are going to beat you.
Well, it's a different story when the team that's winning has the opportunity to go for a touchdown or kick a field goal. Is that what the situation was?
I think it was mainly just to keep the ball away at the end. Yeah. And I think at that point they only needed a field goal maybe.
Gotcha. That's the thing that I think about every time. Somehow this happens where in the last 2 minutes the best quarterback has to score a touchdown, and at that point the team knows it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
So I think that will always bring out the better out of the other team who's winning and has the cushion feeling of, we just want to take some clock away a little bit. And every damn time it gets this close. Obviously the Bills didn't pull it off, but close.
One for Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns?
Yeah,
5 passing and 1 running.
He was crazy.
So it was just a beast.
And to still lose to the Rams, given it was in L.A., but crazy shit, honestly.
Rams had their receiving core going really well. Williams on the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean they were hitting on all cylinders early.
Rams could be a sneaky team to see what they do come wild card round.
6-2 in the last 8 games.
Yeah, that's
pretty damn good.
You have to think that offensive line is clicking now, and the wide receivers are humdinging down the field.
Yep, and Matt Stafford, he could beat anybody.
Yeah, he really can.
Anytime.
It's Matt Stafford. 49ers beat the shit out of the Bears.
I thought that was going to be a closer game with San Francisco not really playing like San Francisco.
With how San Francisco's been, you would assume it would have been.
But boy, it was something else, and George Kittle had 151 yards receiving.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I think one Hail Mary derailed the entire Bears season.
It really did. It still goes back to that.
Yeah, no, I already hit the bet on under 9 wins for the Bears before that game started.
Really?
Because they were plus money. They were 4-2, something like that, and they've just lost every game since.
Yeah, it's brutal. That whole...
Feel bad for Caleb Williams, but that's the way it goes sometimes. What are you going to do? New coach, move on. Now we get on to Sunday night.
Yes.
Chargers barely lose to the Chiefs. The most abysmal first half of Chargers football, I think, this season almost.
Really?
Couldn't score any points. I think at halftime it was 13-0 Chiefs.
Right.
And, you lose 19-17. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Everyone's hurt. No, it was so frustrating. You knew Patrick Mahomes was going to go down the field, do that. The defense missed a couple huge, what could have been sacks, couple tackles. Next thing you know, it's Travis Kelce over the middle twice. They kick the field goal. It's a doinker. They make it. Fuck me. Who cares?
Did it bounce off the upright? You're kidding me.
Bounced off the inside, so it bounced inward.
Oh, good grief.
So, what are you going to do? They were winning. They had the ball. They couldn't make anything happen. A couple overthrown balls in the first half. Need some wide receivers, but at the same time, the trenches will always be more important. So I already know what they're probably going to get in the draft. I don't want to see the Chargers get first rounded in the playoffs, so I'd much prefer if somehow they just sit Justin Herbert the rest of the year, since he has a little bit of an injury now, and just fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Let the Broncos have that spot. Send the Chargers to pick 17.
There you go.
But that's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, Jim Harbaugh's working it. He's going to figure it out.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking about a way to construct the team to counteract the Chiefs specifically.
Yeah.
Knowing him.
Yeah.
And Justin Herbert is a tough son of a bitch.
He is. And, there was some misses in that first half that I couldn't tell. Quentin Johnson had a great game under the lights for the first time, so I was happy to see that.
Good development.
But it was just hard to get anything else going. I can't remember at this point what was going wrong. I think I blacked out for about a half there when they almost could have won it. But, Chiefs are just the Chiefs.
Yep.
They're going to do it. They're going to do just enough to beat you. I'm curious to see how they do in the playoffs this year. Obviously, as everyone is, thinking they're going to get first rounded, but they probably turn it on and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just like we said, Detroit, Buffalo, Chiefs are no different.
Yep.
When they have to turn it on and get the final thing at the end of the game, they do it.
Yep.
I'm confident.
I completely agree. And Lord, I'm hoping the rest of the season it's Taylor Heineke to Brendan Rice and Stone Smart. Just send out the second stringers. Let's see what we've got. I'm so over it at this point. This is what they were supposed to be this year. I'm glad that they are. It will be forever frustrating losing the Chiefs twice a year.
Yeah.
When you can split it at least sometimes.
Yep, agree.
On to Monday night. We had the Simpsons game, which was interesting. Bengals versus the Cowboys. Bengals win by 7.
Yep. Made the pick. 24-20 was my pick last week. Cincinnati, and that was close. The Bengals at the end of the day just have too much firepower.
They have a lot.
You remember me saying if it got into the scoring, it was going to be the advantage Cincinnati.
Yep.
And there's just no way that Cooper Rush is going to keep up with Joe Burrow. So
no.
The Cowboys just don't have the horses. Had a shot. Blew it on a blocked punt that, once again, an idiot Cowboy player doesn't get away from.
Mm-hmm.
Touches the ball. Bengals recover it. One of the most bizarre plays you'll see ever. I've seen it before. It was a long time ago. It happened against the Cowboys against the Steelers one time. And I had immediate flashbacks.
Your PTSD when you're watching the game.
I was like, oh, not again. And, of course, everybody had the flashback to Leon Lett on Thanksgiving. Troy Aikman, even in the booth, he says, I wasn't going to say it, but it came right to my brain.
Yep.
And then Joe Buck said it, and he's like, yep, I was there. So, just bonehead shit, and I don't know.
I was impressed that the Cowboys could not get to Joe Burrow more. Given it was a Cowboys second-string quarterback that I think gets overlooked because he's played so much this season.
Yeah.
The fact that the Cowboys could not rush Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that poor man has been scrambling for as long as he's been in the NFL, and he has gotten good at it. When you see the Cowboys sack Daniel Jones or Drew Lock 6-7 times the week before,
times.
Have more people healthy and they can't get to him.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. I was surprised by that, too. I really thought they would get 5 or 6 sacks on him.
Yep.
and they really didn't do any of that.
No,
So
I think they were probably more focused on covering the wide receivers looking back on it. But
must have been. Threw some blitzes at him and still didn't get there.
That's what I'm saying.
Second week in a row, the Cowboys lose a excellent young talent. The week before was Josh Butler, the new cornerback, and Damarian Overshone, who has just become a fan favorite. Guy's incredible. Number 13 for the Cowboys goes out with a torn ACL, MCL, and whatever the other CL is.
Jesus Christ,
and
that's horrifying.
Who knows if the guy's going to make it back? But he and Micah Parsons were so much fun to watch play together.
Overshone was so good.
That it's just so disappointing because from the time they drafted him, I was so stoked about him. His rookie season last year, out the whole year, and now he's missed about half this season when you total it all out. So
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, NFL, when it comes to those injuries? When people get on that cycle and can't seem to get out of it.
Just sucks.
A crazy game. The fourth quarter was hard to watch as a fan for both teams.
Yeah.
But
there you have it.
Simpsons game. That was week 14 in a nutshell.
Yes.
And you know what? I can't believe we're going to have to do this again. I thought we were done. We're going to do no more moments of silence for the rest of this season until this previous week. 3 more victims fall down to the schedule. I cannot believe I'm saying this. New York Jets, Meadowlands, one of 2 teams playing in that stadium in New Jersey. You can join your brother in the grave. You both are ass. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know what drugs you didn't take, but you should have taken more. Appalling season, quite frankly, and I don't blame only you. I blame your defense a little bit too. You got that one guy from one of the teams that I can't think off the top of my head. Reddick?
Hassan Reddick?
You had Reddick. Where'd he go? He's lost. He's missing. You got Devontae Adams. You basically reconstructed your favorite team of all time. Where did that lead you? Blowing games. I don't know what to say. You were supposed to be the chosen one, and you're supposed to take down Josh Allen and Hawk Tua. You couldn't do either. Jets, congratulations on the 5th pick in the NFL draft, maybe. Tennessee Titans. No one had hope for you. We had a little bit in the offseason.
A little bit, yeah.
Callahan, we thought you could do it, and quite frankly, you didn't do as terrible as you could have. Will Levis did not set you up for success. He was 4 for 4 for 4 weeks with memes of the appalling plays that he made. Calvin Ridley, I'm glad you got paid. Welcome to your burial. I don't know what to say. You play the Bengals this week. Maybe you'll score a touchdown. Who knows? Cleveland Browns. You committed the greatest sin of the 13 or 9 sins. I can't remember how many there are, but you have Deshaun Watson on your team. And for that, you should have been buried from week 1. And quite frankly, you dug your own grave and you're sitting in it. Jameis Winston, you don't deserve this. Jerry Jeudy got his revenge back in the grave. Broncos didn't help you. Browns didn't help you. Maybe we don't pick an orange team next time. That's all I'm saying. And that is all for the burials this week. Only 3 teams. Totals up to 7 from eliminated from the playoffs. I like to have fun with that little segment. I like to imagine.
That was entertaining. Yeah.
Imagine myself on that preset when I edited it.
No more orange teams.
That's all I'm saying. Maybe orange isn't your color. We like to have fun on this podcast. I don't know about Kev here, but I'm a bit loopy from the day today. Just enough going on to keep you insane. But this is our sweet release. And
excellent.
On that note, my second favorite segment, the Misfit Toy December NFL Award, is given out now, week 2. This player, I thought he was going to catch some receiving yards. I lost a bet on him doing it. Nevertheless, he had an amazing game and still lost, because remember, that's the key to this award this month. Misfit Toy is the best player on a losing team. Not overall record, just that week, and that's how we do it. I don't really know how to cue this up because he only had 66 yards, but I think 3 touchdowns is enough to give it to him. I don't think it was a forgettable week of football. Let's keep that in mind. There wasn't much that happened that I really gave a shit about. It was a great week to miss a few games, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, our Misfit Toy Award, December Award, Spectacular Award, however you want to say it. You did all you could for that team. And same with Christian Watson. He was an eligible candidate. I prioritized touchdowns a little bit over the yardage, so that's why Josh Jacobs got it instead.
Makes sense.
A couple extra yards might have done it for you. Might have won the game, but I can't really remember how that game ended either. So congratulations, Josh Jacobs. and then we lead into some surprisingly new news that I really did not expect to hear. Bill Belichick more than likely signing with UNC to be the next head coach for X amount of years.
Yeah.
How do you feel knowing that Tom Landry's record is still the record, right?
Intact, right?
Because Bill Belichick did not get that final couple winning seasons.
Yeah.
He's tied with Tom Landry, and he didn't beat Don Shula.
That's it, I think.
If I'm remembering it correctly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So Tom doesn't fall to 3.
No.
Not a loss.
No.
Kind of surprised that Bill Belichick's not going to go back to the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, college is closely becoming more and more NFL-like, where you need a GM, you need someone to manage the salary. You know, some of these things that in college in the past, you could just give kids a scholarship, say this is what you're going to do, and there's no incentives necessarily other than the scholarship money you're getting. Now that it's more NFL aspect atmosphere-ish, do you think Bill Belichick could construct one of the most underrated college football teams of all time? We don't talk much college football on this podcast because I don't care about it, and I don't think you care about it as much either, necessarily.
Just when it leads to the draft, the NFL draft. Yep.
But Belichick, UNC.
Interesting, right?
It's different.
Yeah. And it's compared to Nick Saban.
Yeah.
You know, because it's what you're used to, what you know, right? And Bill Belichick himself said, you know, it's much more NFL-like with a cap and numbers and all that than ever before. So where he may not have looked at going to college in the past, now he's like, it's not that much different.
Exactly. And
I'm just going to say, whereas Nick Saban hadn't lived in that world,
right?
And then when it changed in college, he's like, I'm out of here.
And I don't blame him.
So it's just interesting. It's what you know, right?
And with them both being friends, it's funny they took different approaches to it.
That's
Nick
what I
Saban
thought
and him were at the Browns.
Yep.
Nick Saban goes to college. He goes on to the Patriots and maybe somewhere else before that.
Yeah.
And then, going gets tough in college ball. Things change in college ball. Nick Saban pulls out, and Belichick's like, I'll take the UNC job, a historically basketball school.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. I don't know what relation he has to UNC other than there was like one photo of him at a UNC game when he was like 5 in like 1958 or some crazy year.
So somebody put out a meme. You probably saw it. It showed him on the campus of UNC coming out the front door of someone's apartment.
Yeah.
With no shirt on.
Well,
it's like Bill Belichick on a Sunday morning at Chapel Hill or whatever, wherever it is.
Well, that video is iconic, and I think he'll be coaching players, if he does take the job, the same age as his girlfriend.
And maybe that's it.
So,
right there.
That he likes youngers?
No, just that his girlfriend's younger?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he wants to get her free tuition.
Maybe so.
Wow, so actually just a deal. But I also heard that he wants it set up so that his son will inherit the team once he decides to stop.
Oh.
And I'm now curious if that's what Robert Kraft wouldn't give him. Because his son was a defensive coordinator for the Patriots towards the end of Belichick's years.
Could very well, yep.
He went to Washington, the Washington Huskies. I don't think that's state. I think it's Washington University. He was defensive coordinator there this year, I believe. So now Bill's trying to set up in his 400-page report, I guess, that, what's his name? Whatever his son's name is, will inherit to some extent.
I just know what he looks like.
Yeah, he's the one that always flapping his gums and tongue around. You remember that?
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. I mean, we're due for some good memes, but that is interesting to think. Is that why Belichick left the Patriots when he did?
Could very well be.
Robert Kraft was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put in Mayo, who can't coach players once they hit that field on Sunday. But that food for thought, something to think about.
Well, UNC, a program that is basically non-existent on a national level, you
can't really go wrong.
No, and it would have to be somebody like that would be willing to do it.
Yeah, maybe he wants a passion project, and that's just the college that's closest to his vacation home.
Ohio State's not going to do it.
No,
big schools like that aren't going to do it. Like Deion Sanders going to the Colorado Buffaloes, right? So it had to be somebody who's kind of off the grid.
Well, that might
nothing to lose.
Right, exactly. I mean, how badly can they do? The only thing I could see is the boosters potentially being like, this is a basketball school, not a football school.
Right.
So I'm curious who's all for it on UNC's side and who's pushing back potentially.
Well,
or is that bringing more?
What college team that's unknown like that? Look at Colorado again as an example. Great program, but relatively unknown nationally.
Yeah.
Until
you bring
prime time, right? And here we go. Bill Belichick's doing the same kind of thing with North Carolina if that's what he chooses.
For sure. And that leads nicely, actually, into more head coaching talk that I didn't mean to get into. But
No, it's good.
Deion Sanders, if his son gets drafted by the Raiders, and the Raiders are a dumpster fire, do you still think there's a good shot that he wants to take on a Cowboys head coaching position?
I do.
And, the connection there is tremendous.
Yeah.
So that's why I'd lean that over the Raiders, even though some people have speculated.
Yep.
I still think your Cowboys head coaching job prediction still has more faith in it.
I really do. You're not going to hear about it right now, right?
No,
I mean, it's just all
not.
Speculation. They can't talk about it right now.
Collusion.
So, but just look at how the Cowboys treaded water this year.
Yeah.
What I mean is Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do anything. They didn't spend money.
Nope.
All they did was get their key players back, who more than likely anybody that came in there would want to have.
Right.
Look at the Broncos. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got all that cap hell there with Russell Wilson.
Right.
He's not even there.
Right.
They draft a rookie quarterback. Sean Payton is there.
Mm-hmm.
And look at how that team has turned around despite the fact they're in cap hell.
Completely
Cowboys
agree.
could be the exact same story. And I still say what Deion is saying is his kid's just not going to go to any team.
Right.
So the Cowboys are going to get as high as they can in the draft. And no one's going to pick Deion's kid because Deion's like, no.
Right.
No.
Right.
So who would want somebody coming to their team that doesn't want to be there?
No, for sure.
I mean, it's rare, right?
Yep.
It's so rare. Eli Manning,
The only example.
the only other example, right? And by the way, they asked Archie Manning, the dad, where he wants, who's the Texas Manning?
Yeah, I know who you're talking
We'll
about.
just call him Texas Manning.
That works.
But he said Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
So that's an interesting thing, too.
That would be incredible if Shedeur, or I think it's Shedeur Sanders,
Shedeur, yeah.
went to the Raiders, and it seems like very likely at the moment that's where he wants to go potentially. But if then in place Archie Manning somehow goes to the Cowboys, which wouldn't be this upcoming year, it's 2 years away.
I think it's another year away.
Yeah.
2 years away, maybe?
I think so.
But, yes, I hold by my prediction. Deion Sanders is coming to the Cowboys to be the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only guy
Who could handle
that could handle that job and tell Jerry to shut up. And Jerry will, the way he feels about Deion,
Yeah.
oh my God, it'll be a love fest.
Now, I'm going to throw out a curveball just because I can. Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll get in the mix. If there's already going to be coaching headlines, their names will be tossed around with prime times.
Yeah.
Is there any connections between either one of them that you could see procuring?
Cowboys are really, and I got to give Mike Fisher some kudos here because he's the one that really is talking about this now too.
Yeah.
And his point is good. Jerry Jones will not bring somebody in that he does not know.
Okay.
So there has to be some kind of a connection,
some sort of
you know what I mean?
Established trust almost.
Yeah, has to either be a well-known person to Jerry,
right,
or it has to be someone who has such experience coaching
that he's willing to take a gamble.
That's the only way it works.
I agree.
There's no in between.
And was Mike McCarthy a trust or a gamble?
Was he what?
A trust or a gamble? In the sense of, did he know Mike McCarthy already, or did he like what he's done in Green Bay and brought him in? Because we would assume then he'll go the other way with this one.
Yeah, it tends to do that.
Which leans them more to prime.
That's right.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And again, I think Mike McCarthy was a credibility play.
Right.
Proven Super Bowl champion, just like Bill Parcells was.
Right.
Back when he brought him in, when he was trying to get the stadium financing passed in Dallas.
Yep.
That's why he did that.
Gotcha.
And so here we are back again. But again, Deion Sanders is the only guy
that can
fit for that job. There's just nobody else. No one.
All right. Well, hey, that's head coaching talk. We did it.
Right on. Going to be a lot more head coaching talk coming up.
We'll get there. All in due time. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, on to Week 15. No more buys. Your fantasy players are free to play. Good luck this week. I get giving no advice on that shit because I don't know how to run a fantasy football team. I might go down as the worst fantasy football GM of all time this year. But nevertheless, you're going to suck historically. Week 15, Thursday night game. Later tonight for you wonderful people. Rams at 49ers. Both looking hot.
Yes. The only difference is one beat the Bears.
Yeah.
The lowly Bears. One beat the Bills.
This is the Rams. Yeah.
And so Rams are going to win this game.
I think that San Francisco -3 is terribly, terribly placed there. Both these teams are just going to get into shootouts. I can't speak on the Rams defense. 49ers defense missing a couple people, a few people still. They're still banged up. You know, the Rams got Puka. They've got, oh my God,
Cooper Kupp.
Kyrie Williams.
Puka is amazing.
It's incredible.
That son of a bitch is so tough.
What
he is so fun to watch him play.
Yes.
He just gives it all.
He does. Especially even if he's hitting people. Even if he's going to get ejected, he goes out looking good.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think the Rams are going to not kill him, but I think the Rams win this game.
Agree.
That being said, though, Coy Pond pick of the week, we have not been amazing, but we can get closer to 500. That is the goal this season. Last season was something of a similar note. We're going to get there.
Right on.
Right now, over-under set at 49.5.
What do you think about that?
The 49.5?
Yeah.
I feel like 7 touchdowns.
Did they do that on purpose because it's the 49ers?
No. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Well, I'll have to go back through the catalogs and look at when has the over-under been 49.5 for the 49ers and see what has historically happened.
Ooh.
Very spooky. Honestly, I really think this game is going to turn into something of a shootout. It'll have to be Kittle, Juwan Jennings. Last time Juwan Jennings played the Rams was his Week 3 like crazy game that he had 3 touchdowns.
Really? Oh boy.
I don't think Juwan Jennings will have 3 again. However, between Kittle, Juwan, and Deebo Samuels, who has gotten applied pressure via his deleted tweet that said he's not getting targeted, and he got community noted saying that he's gotten targeted plenty of times and has not done anything with it. I imagine this will be a very high-scoring game personally.
Yes.
I'm going to bet on the Coy Pond pick over.
Over.
How do you feel about that? You think we run it?
Beautiful. I think it's perfect.
That's it. Coy Pond pick of the week. Over 49.5.
Take the Rams, too.
I like the Rams. I might flex that since you're already going to get it at +3. Alt that to +3.5 so you don't have a push in the instance that the 49ers somehow win this by 3. Just my little...
Got ya.
Put a little sauce on it.
Interesting.
But I really think the Rams can pull this off. They're only traveling 20 minutes up the road to Levi Stadium. Very familiar with it. Sean McVay is a trickster when it comes to beating and covering teams. He's done it before where they need a touchdown to win, but he kicks the field goal to cover. He knows something. He's a Miami man. You know he has a bookie somewhere, allegedly. I don't know that for sure. When I saw him at Brick Street, he said, can I get 50 on the Rams this week? I said, yeah, Sean, of course. Just kidding. Ravens travel to the Giants Sunday afternoon. I'm assuming the Ravens kill them. I'll be honest.
That won't even be close.
The spread is 16.5.
Really?
I will not be touching that. That is too many points for any NFL game.
Tommy Cutlets is back at quarterback this week.
Give me the +6. No, I'm just kidding. I'll probably take the over 42.5.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Giants just have to put up 7 points, 3 points. Ravens could put up 30, make it a competitive over. I have nothing to back that up except that whoever plays one of our friends in our fantasy league this week, he has Lamar and Derrick Henry and has been a juggernaut. So
great, and I play him.
Yeah, you do. Give me the over. Jesus, I got ahead of myself there. The brain is still foggy. Jets at Jaguars, another kind of pointless game at this point.
Yeah.
They're actually playing for probably like the 3rd or 4th pick in the draft. I'm going to say give me the Jets at it's -3.5. I should have started with that. Jets -3.5 to over under 40.5. Do I think this over could hit?
Yeah.
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 Give me the over 40.5. It'll be bright, sunny Jacksonville. I'm feeling a good over 40.5.
I think the Jags win that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Rodgers hits total rock bottom, losing to Mac Jones.
You want to take the +3.5 for the Jaguars then? Or do you
sure.
want to take money line? Outright?
Outright.
Okay.
Yeah.
You dirty dog. Cowboys at Panthers. Carolina favored by 3.
Yeah.
Over under 43.5. Kind of another bowl game that doesn't matter necessarily.
Right, that's true.
What's your thoughts on this? Carolina being favored for the first time, they said, I think, in a few years.
Yeah, I think Carolina wins.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take the Panthers. Don't look back.
I'm not even going to second guess them on this one. Commanders at Saints. Washington favored by 7.5, over under 43.5. It's in New Orleans. I don't know what I think. I think the Commanders need to win this game.
Derek Carr's out.
Derek Carr will not be playing.
Yep.
I Taysom Hill also hurt, so they're going to go Rattler or the other guy that we saw a piece of earlier this season. Commanders minus 7.5 feels good. I might just go with the over 43.5. I don't believe in either one of these defenses too much, and I think the Commanders are pretty explosive. I don't think they're missing anybody crucial, so I'm just going to roll the over 43.5.
Commanders win it and
it's
cover the spread.
It's like 6, probably. Yep. 7.5 scares me, but I think they could probably cover that.
Yeah, I think they probably win by 10.
Bengals at Titans this week. Bengals need to win this to stay alive. Titans still have Will Levis, and Bengals still have one of the worst passing defenses in the league. Cincinnati favored by 5, over under 46.5. God. I would have to say give me Cincy minus 5. I think they could win this by a touchdown as well.
Yeah.
If if Dallas's defense didn't stop Jamar Chase and Joey Burrow, I don't think the Titans stand a chance, but I do think the Titans could put up some numbers. Do you have any opinion? Agreed? All right.
Yep.
Chiefs at Browns. Chiefs favored by 4.5, over under 43.5. I don't know.
Chiefs play to the competition. They win.
Yep.
But they play to the competition, right?
Jameis Winston is electric.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are the Chiefs. I don't even know what to think.
I could see this being like a 30-27 game. High-scoring game.
Yeah.
A lot of points. And I could see the Chiefs waiting on the last drive.
I agree. I would have to go with the Browns plus 4.5 with how the Chiefs have done against the spread. My official pick would be over 43.5. You're so right. They play up and down to whoever they play.
Yep.
Dolphins at Texans. Pretty crucial game this week.
Yes.
Texans favored by 3, over under 46.5. They're still missing old headhunting Joe. I can't remember what his name is. Al Shaheed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who got suspended.
Second game for him. Suspension. 2 of 3 games.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't really believe in the Dolphins. C.J. Stroud at home is pretty electric.
Yeah.
I'd probably favor the -3 for Houston in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Jets' defense isn't anything special. The Dolphins.
No. Yeah. So beating them wasn't like,
It wasn't world beaters.
Yeah. Texans are probably tougher than the Jets, I'd say, right now.
Yeah, since you're getting a half a point, I'd take Texans -3.
All right.
Make it spicy. You have any opinion?
I like that one.
Hell yeah. Colts at Broncos, the Manning Bowl. Broncos favored by 4, over under 44.5. This will be huge for the playoffs. This is a wild card game, kind of, because both these teams, Broncos are in it right now. Colts are just on the cusp. Colts are just on the cusp of being in it, I think, at the moment. I don't think they're currently in the wild card picture.
Yeah.
Or playoff picture, however you say that. God. I don't know what to expect in this game. Broncos have been pretty shut down. Bo Nix has looked pretty good.
They have.
It's in Mile High.
Yep.
I'd probably lean Broncos -3. It's at -4 right now.
Yeah. So you're thinking
think the Broncos could win this. The over-under is 44.5.
Broncos don't cover it, though?
It's close. The Broncos have beat some teams in there. Do I have faith in Anthony Richardson? That's the part of it. Not really.
Yeah, I don't.
That's kind of where my brain goes. Is I don't trust the Colts. I trust Bo Nix and Sean Payton more.
I do.
I'd probably lean Broncos -4.
Yeah, I would go with that. Broncos will probably have 2 touchdown returns on defense.
I completely agree. Wait, 2 touchdown returns on defense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fumble return, interception return.
Some sort of turnover.
Yep.
God, I bet it'll be close, though. I think the Broncos will pull away and get like a last-second touchdown or something. Patriots at Cardinals. I'm just going to hope the Cardinals can win this. They're -6. I'd probably take the Cardinals -6.
Gotta think so. New England just doesn't have enough to... Those are next level, different level teams.
I think. I mean, with what we've seen from the Cardinals, I think we're going to regret that. But at the same time, who knows? Who knows? Bills at Lions.
There's the game.
There's our best 4 o'clock game.
Yes.
I wish we could flex out something for them, but that's not going to happen. Detroit favored by 2.5, over under 53.5.
What do you think?
I don't know. I could see this being an over game.
53.5
is a lot, but these teams have a lot of offense between the two of them.
We're inside, so weather's not an issue.
Yep. Bills are traveling again.
I could see it being over.
I kind of just want to take the over in hopes that a 4 o'clock game just gets destroyed with overs.
Yeah.
So I'll take the over 53.5. Do you have a strong opinion?
Lions cover that spread?
2.5? Yeah, Lions cover. Assuming they win, they'd win that spread. Only the Chiefs would lose a minus 2.5 by a half a point. Buccaneers at Chargers. Yeah. I don't know what to think. I honestly think there's a good shot the Buccaneers destroy the Chargers.
Think so?
I think offensively the Chargers can't keep up.
Yeah.
Defensively the Chargers have looked good.
Yeah,
but
really
I
good.
mean, there's just moments. There's moments I just don't believe in them. Chargers favored by 3, over under 45.5. I might even just take the under on this.
Take the other?
Under?
Yeah. Under 45.5?
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
I think the Chargers win this one, and they cover the spread.
Okay. Hey, fair enough.
I can see Chargers 24, Bucks 20.
Wow. All right.
It's been a lucky score for me lately.
Yeah, hey, keep it rolling. Steelers at Eagles. This will be an interesting game.
Yes.
Battle of Philly, or Pennsylvania, sorry. Steelers defense looking normally dominant. Eagles, a bit of drama.
Yeah.
Almost losing the Panthers.
Yeah.
Taking on Russell Wilson. George Pickens is out for this game, I believe.
He is.
So maybe a Mike Williams appearance or two this upcoming week. Steelers, let's see if they can stop Saquon Barkley. We know that's going to be part of the winning method, along with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown as per usual. Philly's favored by 5.5. The over-under is 41.5. I don't know what to think. Russ and Wilson and his moon balls are pretty iconic. Mike Williams is a big dude.
Yeah.
Calvin Austin's still there. I don't know. 5.5 feels like a lot against the Steelers after they barely won against Philly.
Yeah.
I might take the Steelers plus 5.5.
Okay.
But I don't know. The Eagles have played up and down to their opponents this year.
I think the Eagles cover it. I think it's 26-20.
I could see that. That's nice.
I don't know.
Fuck, this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, it really is.
There's a lot of good 4 o'clock games.
There's some good ones,
I'm not used to us having a full slate of games these days. Yeah, you know what? Give me the over, 41.5.
All right.
I like that. All right. Sunday night. Electric. Packers at Seahawks. A rematch of the overtime. We'll take this ball, we'll receive and win in overtime.
Yeah.
Packers favored by 3, over under 45.5. It's in Seattle. Seattle's been hot recently.
Yes.
Packers just lost to the Lions in Detroit. I don't know. -3 for Green Bay on the road against a hot Seahawks team. I kind of like the +3 for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I do too.
I have no reason to think that. Maybe Jalen Reed has a great game, but I think Seahawks at home might make a difference now that they're like legitimate contenders.
I agree. Packers seem like they're struggling a bit too.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, fucking hell. Monday night, Bears at Vikings. Vikings murder them. I'll take the -7 happily.
Yes.
And the total is 43.5. I might even mess with the over.
Take the over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Minnesota -7 though.
I agree. San Francisco just, beat up on Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Minnesota's better than the Niners right now.
I think so. And even Justin Jefferson, that whole thing. I think the Vikings handle the Bears personally.
Addison.
Yeah, they'll get them involved. Bears are just going through it. Finding a new coach.
It's not good.
It's not going to be easy for them to even come close to covering some of these games, sadly. It's funny, though. Better 4 o'clock games than 8 o'clock games, I'd argue.
And is there a second Monday night game? Am I seeing that right?
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I missed that completely.
Atlanta, Vegas?
Yes.
That'll be a thrilling game.
Yeah, it sucks. Falcons -4, over under 44.5. It's in Vegas. God. This is horrifying. This might have been a cool game last year.
Yeah.
But
it's got to be the Falcons winning it. The question is, do they cover?
Yeah, the -4. I mean, they just got beat by the Buccaneers without one of their best running backs. Kind of a beat-up wide receiving core. Yeah. It is Baker Mayfield. He's electric as shit. Kirk Cousins needs to get hot again. I'm going to take Atlanta -4.
Yeah, I think so.
Over-under, Lord only knows if the Raiders can do anything. I mean, Brock Bowers is bound to have a touchdown, but that quarterback play is probably not going to be there.
Could be like 20-7.
It really could be.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I believe that is it for us today.
Right on.
Unless you have something else to add that I forgot about.
Can't think of anything.
Hell yeah. Well, everyone have a great week. Coming up in the upcoming weeks, we might do the podcasting a little different. I probably should have started this off with this segment. Maybe I'll rotate it around. But around when we get to the Christmas, I guess we have one more week.
Yep.
Never mind. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Perfect.
Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you all
football.
next week. Yeah, enjoy your football.
Get your shopping done.
Oh, yeah.